Hey YouTube! A jazz bass. Yes. That's a water slide on it, so it's not a Fender. It's annoying me though, I can't remember. I have definitely seen the Strat, so it's got like a sort of translucent wood body and a perloid mother of toilet seat scratch plate. This strap is, I'm just going to change it. This is he sometimes dips on bass, and this is, you know, the guy who plays the guitar, but he's got a bass anyway, as you do, in case he's got to stand in somewhere or someone else wants a shot. You know, I'll bring my bass, you know, blah blah blah. Just perfect. Well, it's perfect now. It wasn't working, so it was just the usual thing had happened with the volume control, where see when it's not bolted to the top of the guitar properly. This strap doesn't want to go in here. Nobody could possibly have wanted it the other way, where you get a big knot in your back. So it's definitely. I can always put it back on again. Yeah. Aye. Right. So and now I don't have a big knot right in the middle of my back. Yeah. So basically, what happens is what happens in a lot of guitars. See when it's the bolt that holds the pot on, when that comes loose, it means that when you turn it all the way down to nothing, it keeps spinning. So see, once it's done a couple of rotations, it just pulls the wires off. The wires snap. So that's basically what happened to this one. So I've just taken them all off, bolted them on proper tight, replaced a couple of wires, and so neck on its own, bridge on its own, tone. Neck, no tone. This is after doing that video yesterday, the day before, where I was just playing 4 notes. What the hell? Something stuck in my t-shirt. Like an angle grited bit of metal or something like that. Yeah, so I've never actually owned a jazz bass. So I have owned one. I owned I bought a Phoenix one at one point. It was red and black. It was really cool, and it kind of got put off because I went on the Phoenix website and I said, I've got this, blah blah blah. The serial number says blah blah blah. Started with 88. I was like, this is a 1988 one. I just got so much abuse. There's no kind of idiot thinks that model came out in 1988. It's obviously 1991 with that headstock. And it was just like, you're like, right, well, fuck off then. So I just left the group and then never and sold the guitar. So Phoenix, not that. Just be aware that I know most people aren't like that. Like the 99% of the people on that page didn't comment on that when someone said, I've just got this new guitar. But I don't know, I think when I bought my first bass, the first bass that counts, the Schecter P bass, the other option I had at the time was a 1975 Fender Jazz. It was kind of pale yellow with a black scratch plate, and it was stunning. But then I was literally playing it, and it was a guitar. So what about that one over there? That Schecter. I was like, Schecter? It sounds like Scheiter. No, I think they're quite good. And I was like, I'll have a shot of it anyway. Seeing as I'm in and I played, and it was like, fuck, best bass in the world. So I bought that. I think it was £100 cheaper than the jazz bass as well. Although now the jazz bass is probably worth a couple of grand. So maybe I could have been a jazz bass person. I don't know. I always find it, to get a P bass sound, my first go-to when someone hands me a jazz bass is you put both the volumes up to full, right? And then you turn the bridge one down a wee bit. And then you get hear it there. That wee wah. That's kind of as close to a P bass as you can get. But I mean, it comes down to this. I suppose a jazz or a P. I would have chosen a P, but fair enough. So I think, as I said, I think this is a Westfield or something like that. and it's got decent, I don't know, expensive strings on it because they've got coloured ends. So, and it's set up okay, so it plays fine. And yep, it's absolutely all you would need. You don't need to be spending thousands of pounds, and having a jazz bass, again, it's pretty cool. It does the same as what a P bass or a Strat or a Telly or any of these, any of the classics. You can play anything on them. It just doesn't, it's not going to be the end of the world. It's like, oh, they're playing a Metallica song, I've only got a jazz bass. That's okay, totally. Here we go. You know what I mean? Same with an SG or any of these things. It's when it's like pure, oh, I've got a Rickenbacker. It's like 12 string and I want to play, and I'm going to play Metallica. You know what I mean? That would be more sound than look. Or one of these horrible, like the ones that I know are they are good, like the Yamaha RBX or the Ibanez Sound Gear, where they are amazing basses. They totally are. I don't like the look of them at all. Whereas I can totally handle a jazz bass. This doesn't feel as big as the last one of these I had. I think the last jazz bass I had, I painted it orange and made it an Iron Brew jazz bass, but I think it was because it was bright orange, it seemed much bigger, and I was thinking, this is huge, or maybe it's just because I've been playing the bass a bit more. I'm not feeling, it doesn't feel massive. I mean, I think it is, 10mm bigger than a P bass or something. It's bigger, but not, less than an inch bigger somewhere. I think I get put off to be honest, the term, it's got the term jazz on it. Jazz sucks, man. Playing all the wrong notes. No, but I suppose a wee bit like the Jazz Master guitar as well. It's like they were, Lee Fender was coming in going up here. Yep, right. We've managed to nab, by inventing the P bass a few years ago. We've managed to nab X percentage of bass players who can't be bothered carrying around an upright bass. They'll just take that and it maybe even sounds better. So we'll make one for the jazzers, put more pickups in it, more knobs, and then we'll put jazz on it. And I think the jazz players still played the uprights. It kind of didn't work that way, but I mean, it's just a slightly different P bass. It's certainly nothing would really have changed that much. I don't think if anybody, any of your classic P bass players had instead the shop had a jazz bass, I think it would just be the same thing. Very similar. I've never really found any use for the thin pickup. Maybe it's a wee bit clunkier. But my point was, I suppose earlier on was I thinking you're using just the one single coil. It really likes having a bit more. Maybe not that much. And unit is with that mic off so it doesn't fart, maybe. And I would have known it wasn't a Fender if you're turning up at a gig and the headstock's not right. That's what's making me think it's not a Westfield. I'm sure the Westfield's the one. I'm sure the Westfield had a headstock that was very Fendery, but you could tell by the way that, see, when the E string went over the nut, the headstock was right, but the whole headstock was moved up a wee bit. So that's how they got round the copyright thing. So that what would happen is you'd have like a Gibson angle, so you come off this the nut there, and the string would come up at 45 degrees to get to the tuner. So maybe it isn't a Westfield. I've definitely had a couple of Strats that were this translucent blue with the mother of pearl scratch plate, making me think it's that. So I don't know. It maybe never had a name on it ever. But yeah, totally. I mean, it's not that difficult to. Everyone should have a bass, and for one like this, brilliant. Would I take off the Fender? I'd probably take off the Fender logo if it was my bass. But then again, maybe it's enough to fool people into it. Yep, rocking. So mystery bass, if you know what it is, if you've had a, it's just it's annoying me that turquoise Strat that I definitely had more than one of. Not turquoise, this blue Strat with a thing. I definitely had a couple of them. I can't remember what it was. It said in the headstock. Rock on. Oh yeah, that's your bass fixer. I wasn't really anything wrong with it. I could set it up, polish it and that, but I just have to charge you money. So it works fine. Rocking.